that I had experienced trauma, but of course my body knew, my heart, my mind. And so when I found a means of escape, I took it.
Recovery happens here. And with your help, recovery will continue to happen for so many others. We're asking for your support on May 14th for the Big Give to donate to BW Rock at bwroc.org or calling our 800 number at 888-68-BW Rock. We'll see you on May 14th for the Big Give, and we thank you for your continued support. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Recovery Happens. Today we have Lindsey, who's here to offer hope and encourage recovery.
Life growing up as a child was... So I don't remember a lot of my childhood, honestly. Growing up, my dad was an alcoholic. I remember always being very, very close with all of my siblings. Maybe even a trauma bond there, but I wouldn't change it for the world. It was kind of a free-for-all, you know? So I'm the baby of 5 kids, and since my mother worked full-time, you know, due to my dad's alcoholism, and he, you know, was fairly absent from the home because she would not let him around when he had been drinking. Always loved my dad, always loved everybody, you know? As a child, that was my normal, okay? So I never saw an issue with it until I got older and, you know, we start comparing. I had a ball in high school. You know, high school was some of the best years of my life, truly. I feel like I really made the best of it, you know. I was into cheerleading. I was very outgoing. I just loved being with my friends. I loved laughing. I really loved making my family proud. That was always something very, very important to me, and my family was always right there just cheering me on, and you know, they just really loved me very, very, very well. I've always been super supportive, always had my back. Addiction with substances entered my life, so I was actually kind of a late bloomer compared to a lot of people in the recovery community, honestly. I didn't even smoke my first cigarette, I think, until, you know, well, I take that back. I had tried them because I grew up around a lot of smokers, so I would smoke like cigarette butts, and, you know, so I remember, having a really, really bad migraine. Had never experienced that before. And a Norco was offered to me. And I liked that feeling, and I didn't know why. And at that point, it just was downhill after that. I just started using more and more. Looking back, I think it was the traumas from my childhood that I didn't know I was running from. And still at that point in my life, did not even know that I had experienced trauma. But of course, my body knew, my heart, my mind. And so when I found a means of escape, I took it and was off to the races.
What happened to your siblings?
So when I moved to Port Huron in 2014, after facing losing custody of my oldest son, his father and I had gotten back together. We're pregnant with my second child. Things were going really, really good in my life, the best they had ever been going. So fast forward to summer of 2015, I had my baby the end of June, and August 17th, 2015, I received some news that I don't think any amount of recovery could have ever prepared me to deal with. My mom called in a huge panic, saying, Eddie's gone, Eddie's gone. And I just didn't know at that point what had happened. You know, so we're all just frantic trying to figure out what's going on. I'm calling his phone just like in disbelief, you know, like, answer your phone. Why does nobody know what's happening? Where are you? Because before that, my niece had reached out and said, what was up with your brother's Facebook post? And I had not thought anything of it. Well, looking back, he was saying goodbye to everybody. He made a Facebook post thanking everybody who had ever loved him. So he had taken his own life. with a shotgun. And he was like one of the. I mean, I put my family through hell in active addiction, truly. But none of them ever left my side, you know? And I can't imagine they're hurt. You know, they've seen me almost die a handful of times, and they loved me through every part of it. And my brother was one of my biggest cheerleaders, hugest advocates, who also struggled with substance abuse of his own, but was more functioning. You know, he always kept working. I remember him reaching out to me, you know, a few months before that on my birthday. He called to wish me a happy birthday, and he said, "How did you do it?" And I said, "You saw me, that I couldn't have done it. I had to go to treatment. I had to get help." And he just had those, I remember him having those excuses that, you know, he couldn't go to treatment. He would lose his job. And I remember saying to him that day, like, "You're going to lose a lot more if you don't go. Like, you're going to lose your job regardless." Unfortunately, like, I hate that after I was finally getting my life back together, which is all he ever wanted, you know, he didn't really get to be a big part of that because of his own stuff that he was facing. Because man, I know, spent many nights awake in bed, praying, worrying, just not knowing what to do or how to help me. And being able to be there, being able to show up and help arrange funeral plans for my brother, being there to help take care of my sister. My God, before I never would have been, don't let Lindsey around, you know, because I wouldn't have been in any condition to help. So, and I would have just made things worse than they already were. My mom, you know, like, I mean, when she passed away, she had lived with us, of course, before going to the nursing home. So, like, that trust was given back. I mean, that same mom that used to have to sleep on her purse to hide it from me from stealing from her, when she passed away, I was on her checking account with her. So it just continues to blow my mind, the super cool things that have happened and just all the redemption, you know, and that I'm able to have the eyes to see that and recognize that it wasn't all on my own. I didn't do this all by myself.
Where do you show up every Monday with your kids?
Family dinners at BW Rock, and my kids look forward to it every week, you know, so we're very active as far as the recovery community goes that way, and anywhere else, if the schedule allows for it, of course, 3 kids, we show up for it, you know, making sure that later in life they will know that our community offers a multitude of resources. God forbid that they should struggle, you know, that they will know that help is there. And it's just humbling yourself to ask for it, but it's there.
At the Blue Water Recovery and Outreach Center, we believe in second chances. We believe in hope, healing, and the power of community. Every day we walk alongside individuals on their journey to recovery, offering support, compassion, and real resources that change lives. BW Rock is carrying a heavy lift and has become a vital lifeline for those that need it with limited resources. But we can't do it alone. The need is great, and your support makes all the difference. Whether it's a ride to treatment, a support group, or a warm space to feel seen and heard, your donation helps us keep the doors open and the lights on for those that need it most. Recovery happens here. And with your help, recovery will continue to happen for so many others. We're asking for your support on May 14th for the Big Give to donate to BW Rock at bwroc.org or calling our 800 number at 888-68-BW Rock. We'll see you on May 14th for the Big Give, and we thank you for your continued support.